The new house. The old mirror. My name is Ahmed, and what I am about to tell you is the most terrifying experience of my life. If I hadn't witnessed it with my own eyes, I would never have believed it. This happened about 2 years ago when I had to move to another city because of my job. The company didn't provide accommodation, so I had to find a place to rent on my own. After several days of searching, I finally found an old but beautiful house at a surprisingly low rent. As I was moving my belongings inside, I noticed the neighbors staring at me with strange expressions. An elderly man slowly approached and said in a low voice, "Son, if you can, leave this house." I smiled politely. I assumed he was just being superstitious. Ignoring his warning, I carried my boxes inside. The house was unusually quiet. Damp stains covered the walls, the wooden floor creaked with every step, and the wind whistled eerily through the old windows. Attention! In the corner of the bedroom stood a large antique mirror. Its wooden frame was carved with strange symbols, and the glass was unbelievably clean, as if someone polished it every day. I shrugged. The previous owner must have left it behind, I thought. I stood in front of the mirror and adjusted my shirt. Then, something strange happened. For just a split second, my reflection seemed to move half a second later than I did. I froze. I waved my hand again. This time, everything looked perfectly normal. I laughed nervously. "I'm just exhausted," I whispered to myself. That night, around midnight, I went to bed. Sometime after midnight, I suddenly woke up. I had the unsettling feeling that someone was inside my room. I sat up and looked around. No one was there. Then my eyes drifted toward the mirror. Moonlight spilled across its surface, and for a brief moment, it looked as though my reflection wasn't looking at me. Instead, it was staring at something. Skipped a beat. I spun around. The room was empty. When I looked back at the mirror, everything was normal again. A cold chill ran through my body. I convinced myself it was only my imagination. The next evening, after returning from work, I noticed something odd. That morning, I had left a chair beside the window. Now it was standing directly in front of the mirror. I lived alone. Who could have moved it? I told myself I must have forgotten where I'd placed it. Later that evening, I used my phone to record a short video of my new room to send to a friend. When I watched the recording, my blood turned cold. For a single frame, a blurry human figure was standing inside the mirror. But when I had actually recorded the video, there had been no one there. I immediately replayed it. This time, the figure was gone. I locked my phone and tried to ignore it, but my heartbeat refused to slow down. At around 3 o'clock that night, a loud sound jolted me awake. Knock, knock, knock. The sound was coming from inside my bedroom. I switched on the light. The room was empty, but the knocking continued. Knock, knock, knock. Gathering every ounce of courage, I followed the sound. It was coming from behind the mirror. My throat went dry. With trembling hands, I reached out and touched the mirror's frame. The knocking stopped instantly. Then, the reflection inside the mirror smiled. But my own lips never moved. The blood drained from my face. I took a step backward. The figure inside the mirror remained perfectly still, staring directly at me. Its eyes were cold, lifeless, inhuman. At that moment, I realized the horrifying truth. It wasn't my reflection. It was someone else. Someone who lived inside the mirror. The Stranger in the Mirror. Chapter 2. The Reflection That Wasn't Mine. I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night. Every few minutes, I looked toward the mirror, expecting that horrifying smile to appear again. But the reflection stood perfectly still, copying my every movement, as if nothing had happened. By sunrise, I had almost convinced myself that fear had played tricks on my mind. Almost. Before leaving for work, I threw an old bedsheet over the mirror. I didn't want to see it again. When I returned that evening, the front door was still locked, exactly as I had left it. But the bedsheet, it was lying on the floor. The mirror was uncovered. A cold knot tightened in my stomach. I searched every room in the house. Every window was locked from the inside. There was no sign that anyone had entered. Trying to stay calm, I picked up the sheet and covered the mirror once more. This time, I placed a heavy chair against it. "If someone moves this," I whispered, "I'll know." things. That night I installed my phone on a shelf and started recording before going to bed. At exactly 2:47 a.m., I woke up. The room was silent. Too silent. The chair was no longer in front of the mirror. It had somehow moved to the other side of the room. The bedsheet was gone. The mirror was exposed again. My hands began to shake. I grabbed my phone, stopped the recording, and rushed outside to my car. I spent the rest of the night sitting inside the vehicle, waiting for sunrise. The next morning, I watched the recording. For nearly 3 hours, nothing unusual happened. Then, at exactly 2:31 a.m., the bedsheet slowly slipped off the mirror. No wind, no visible movement. It simply slid to the floor by itself. A few seconds later, the reflection inside the mirror raised its head. But I was still asleep in bed. The reflection smiled. Then it lifted one hand, while my real body never moved. My heart pounded so hard I could barely breathe. I replayed the video again and again. The same thing happened every time. Terrified, I showed the recording to an elderly neighbor. The moment he saw the mirror, his face turned pale. "You should have left when I warned you," he said quietly. He invited me into his house and told me a story no one in the neighborhood liked to speak about. More than 30 years ago, a lonely artist had lived in that house. He was obsessed with mirrors. People claimed he believed mirrors were doors to another world. One stormy night, the neighbors heard him screaming. When they broke into the house the next morning, the artist had disappeared. The only thing left behind was the mirror. No blood, no body. Only strange scratches on the floor leading toward it. Sounded like glass breaking. I ran toward my bedroom. The mirror was still standing, not a single crack. But someone, or something, was standing inside it. It looked exactly like me. Same face, same clothes, same terrified eyes. The only difference, it was smiling. Slowly, the figure inside the mirror raised its hand, not to wave, not to threaten. It was inviting me to come closer.